Hello everyone, this is Ayanna Mojica, Priestess of Power and Wealth and the Unapologetic Wealthy Mystic. I am broadcasting to you today from Encinitas, California, the beautiful seaside city in North County, San Diego. And today is just a beautiful morning, sunny. It's probably about 60 degrees here in January, and I just love it. I love where I live and continue to be supported by this area. Well, today I want to share another key to creating consistent wealth, and it's actually creating consistent wealth in my practice. Before I do that, I want to introduce to you the art that's behind me, because as you know from the previous YouTubes that I love art. I'm an artist, I'm a dancer, choreographer, and expressive arts artist as well, and love art, and I especially love art that is spiritual and uplifting. So behind me is Archangel Michael, or Archangel Michael, by the artist Alma Yamasaki. And here you go. So that's who is behind me. Look at him. He is actually a major, another major protector angel that I have in my house. He actually normally sits by my door, on the wall by my door, the front door. He takes care of what's coming in and out of the home. So I like to share art with you, and art is my passion, has been since I was born. And of course I came out of my mother's womb dancing. You know, in my Puerto Rican culture we always dance. So I came out of my mother's womb dancing and became the artist in the family, the dancer and choreographer in the family. So I just want to go on with this theme, and I just want to share with you that I am very committed to creating a multiple six-figure empire. Now this year in 2016 I am creating my first six-figure empire. So I'm taking it step by step, and this goal is this year is the first $100,000, and I'm so excited about it. And then of course next year we go to the double-digit multiple six-figure empire. And from there, I'm committed to actually a seven-figure empire and a multiple seven-figure empire. And why? Why is because, first of all, I have a dream to fund, like you do. You have a dream and it needs to be funded. And the dream, one of my dreams is to leave a legacy for my children, to leave a legacy for my community, and to fund the projects that are in my heart to support women and children. And second of all, I am very inspired and very thrilled and very grateful and thankful to mentor women to be powerful and to create their own wealth and to fund their own projects, and to do this in luxury and style and have fun, have yummy fun. So you will be seeing the evolving of this. I'll be sharing this. I'll be sharing very deeply my process, and I invite you to, continue to tune into the YouTube, see what I'm saying, see what I'm doing. I'm also going to be on Periscope, because my mentor is having a great success with Periscope, and because I plan to be traveling. My business is international, excuse me, international travel. And wherever I am, and all those beautiful places that I'm going to be, also all those places where I'm serving those who are less fortunate, all those places I actually want to share those with you. And so while I'm on the road and while I'm traveling and having these experiences, I'm going to share them with you. So I'm going to be testing Periscope, and of course there's always YouTube, so stay with me. So today, the theme I've been on recently is the keys to wealth and to creating wealth, and last time was consistency, being consistent. Be consistent. Be consistent in your spiritual practice, and be consistent in taking consistent, empowered, money-generating action steps. So those are the two that we talked about in the last YouTube. Today, I'm actually going to share a little bit of how, what my practice is. Now, your spiritual practice may be different than mine, or you may not even have one. But I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm a very deeply spiritual person, came out into this world as a spiritual master. And so spirituality and being connected to Source, being connected to God, being connected to goodness, and connected to the infinite potential has always been my guiding point. So during the good times, during the bad times, no matter what, I've never ever stopped my spiritual practice. It has changed over time. So you will find that your spiritual practice will change over time, because you know, one practice sustains you and it helps you to grow and expand, and then you need another practice. So I have a practice that I do right now that's actually focused very potently, very fiercely around creating wealth, and even more specific is shifting into wealth consciousness, because riches begins in the form of a thought, as I learned from Napoleon Hill in the book Think and Grow Rich. So riches begins in the form of a thought, and if we have faulty thinking, we're going to have a faulty outcome. And if we have poverty thinking, we'll have a poverty outcome. And poverty shows up in different ways in different people's lives. Doesn't mean that you live in a hovel. Poverty shows up in different ways. So riches begins in the form of thought. So therefore I decided that I really needed to shift my thinking, because the outcomes that I was experiencing in the area of money, and especially big money, was not consistent. So I made an effort, a serious effort and a big commitment. And one of the things I did to actually even get to that point, because some people were asking, well, how did you get to that point? One of the things I did to get to the point of shifting into wealth consciousness, where I'm at right now, is this. I did not know what I did not know. So I asked God to show me what I did not know. I said, please help me I'm willing to change and see things differently. I'm willing to change and do things differently. So please help me change and see things differently. Help me change and do things differently, because quite frankly, I don't get it. I just don't get it. I've done this, I've done that, and yet here's this part. So a lot of what I do right now has to do with shifting into wealth consciousness, and that's what I mentor women to do, and co-creating wealth. That's what I mentor women to do, and also to be very powerful. And the powerful part comes in going deep inside of myself, and this is what I mentor women to do, going deep inside myself to find out what are those things that are keeping me from what I desire. And most often, in my experience of mentoring and counseling and teaching and training hundreds and thousands of people, including women, including men, including couples, and including children, bringing healing to them so their lives could be more successful. They can come out of pain and come into harmony and peace and pleasure. One thing that I found in the step into co-creating that wealth and being empowered is that we have to go deep inside ourselves and heal those things that happen to us that cause trauma, and the ways that we were programmed, innocently programmed. Sometimes it's not that innocent, but the things that we've been programmed that have kept us from being all that we're called to be, in all our radiance, and all our beauty, and all our majesty, and all our wealth, and all our power, and in all of our juicy sensuality. So this is what I do. And I just want to share one more thing. I've been up since 11 o'clock last night. I went to bed early. Something happened yesterday in my life that kind of took me for a loop. Someone that I greatly admire, greatly admire and respect and was working with, said something to me that really triggered something inside of me. It seemed to be insensitive. I received it as being insensitive. and it triggered that part of me that fears criticism, and it took me for a loop. And I had a great day yesterday until that, and then I received, a notice from one of my financial institutes that there was a big error, and that big error was a big error, and I'm like, holy Toledo! And so I got into this place, like it really took me off guard, and so one thing I do is, like, when that happens is I go inside. I'm just like, oh my gosh, what's happening? What do I need to do? Where do I need to take responsibility? What's my part? And so I went to bed early. I'm like, I was on overload. And so I went to bed early. And I went to bed about 7:30 and woke up at 11. And at 11 o'clock, I'm thinking, okay, now what? And my mind started going. And I know from the work that I do is that if your mind is going, you're going to create what's in your mind. That, because we are powerful creators. My mind was going. But thank goodness I have tools. I actually have spiritual tools, energetic tools, and consciousness, mind tools to help me. And that's what I did. So from 11 o'clock, I put on my Silva mind training method. Did that for deep relaxation. And then after that, my mind was still going. It wasn't going as much. It was starting to settle down. I put on another Silva method program. And then I put on a releasement download that's from Dr. Mitchell Gibson and the Tybro family, which is www.tybro.com. By the way, I will put this down on the link underneath this YouTube so you can get this information. And that is one of my best tools. The releasement download is one of my best tools because it actually releases the trauma. It releases the energy of the trauma that I experienced. And it was a mini trauma, but it was enough to throw me off. So I had to release that. So after that, I released it. Oh my gosh, I felt so good after that. So from 11 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the morning, I was in deep process, but I was in a deep positive process, taking care of my emotions, taking care of my mind so I don't do stinking thinking. And then after, that was over and I finally said, okay, the day has begun, I began my spiritual practice. Now that was part of my spiritual practice. So when things are normal, and things are never normal in my life, this is what I do. Every morning I get up and I have a practice. I do a spiritual mind training. I have the third eye activation that I do through the Pillai Center, and it focuses on the midbrain, and that's the area that actually helps to focus on releasing thoughts that may have to be resisting money. So it's a third eye activation, and it deals with the midbrain, so that's one. I have a chant that I sing each day to Shiva by Deva Pramal, so that's like 8 minutes. The third eye activation is only 8 minutes. And then I do the miracle prayer, the 72 names of God, through the Tybro family. So I do that. That's another, 3 minutes. And then I actually have like a quiet time meditation, about 20 minutes. And then I do 5 minutes of moon magic from my coach, Coach Kayer. And then I do another 5 minutes of working with the law. And I do another 5 minutes of Think and Grow Rich. I feed my brain. And I do all of this and then I have little postcards that I have, written things on to inspire me. I also read over my goals. I have my definite purpose. Each day I read my goal for my 3-year goals. I read my monthly goal, my daily goal, my weekly goal, and they're all in positive. I take my little postcards that have my positive phrases. wealth building phrases, and then I encourage. So now the next part is, and then I go encourage. I encourage you. I encourage you on Facebook. I encourage you in the group, Priestess of Power and Wealth. And if you're not in that group, go to Facebook, Priestess of Power and Wealth, and join. So that's my practice in the morning. And one more thing, my ancestors. I have an ancestor altar, and I always offer offerings to my ancestors every day and invite them to be part of what I'm doing. So thank you so much for listening. If you like this, please like or make comments on the bottom. Please share the YouTube. This is for helping others. And go visit my website, www.ayannamojica.com, and sign up for the newsletter. We are shifting, uplifting, up-branding, up-leveling, and I don't want you to miss out on anything. So you have a fantastic day, wealth to you, blessings and joy, and so it is, so it is.